Welcome back, YouTube. Welcome back. Raw, uncut, and unfiltered macaroni. Big Tony Jones back at it with another live. We live tonight. Woo! It's Wednesday midweek. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all made it through the hustle and bustle of the day. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all enjoyed yourself. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no. Wait, hold on. I got to change this. Hold on. Y'all give me a second because I got a different video that I put in here. There we go. There you go.
We begin with
hold on, because there's some breaking news we got to talk about. Fam. There's some breaking news we got to talk about. I got to put on my earpiece, y'all. So today's conversation tonight's live. You know, we're talking about Karmelo Anthony being tried as an adult. Now, before, all right, hold on a second, make sure I'm good over here, dog. Hold on a second, y'all. All right, so Carmelo Anthony tried as an adult, right? Before I got on the live, right? I'm doing my homework. I'm trying to find out. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I'm good here. Hold on. Turn my Bluetooth on. Make sure my earpiece is good. Earpiece. All right, it's good. Okay. So I'm about to go on. I'm relaxing, getting ready to come on live, right? Find out Larry Hoover might be coming home. I said, hold on a second now. I said, Larry Hoover might be. President Trump has pardoned, or what they use a term that I can't remember the term. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not familiar with the term. But we're gonna get into it because it's breaking news right now. Like literally, it just dropped. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on it. We on it. Then we gonna get to Carmelo Anthony. Now, before we get into that, I gotta let y'all know this conversation is straight up and down like 6 o'clock, ain't 6:01, ain't 5:59. You know what I'm saying? Don't shoot the messenger. We just trying to see why. You know what I'm saying? Because when I heard he was getting tried as an adult, I thought it was a little too much at first. You know what I'm saying? First degree murder. I thought it was a little too much at first. But we're gonna get into it. You know what I'm saying? Well, hey, I appreciate y'all on Wednesday night. If y'all got the children, you know what I'm saying? I love the children, the beautiful, beautiful babies. Well, please, they can't be around right now because we about to have some adult conversations, some grown folk business. You know what I'm talking about? And I don't want to be, you know what I mean? What's what I'm looking for? I don't want to be a bad influence. You know what I mean? Uncle Jones don't want to be a bad influence. All right? Let's get down to the breaking news, y'all.
Begin with breaking.
Hold on. My monitor ain't start. Goddamn. Hold on. I'm gonna pull it back one more time because it didn't start on this side. I don't know what the hell was going on. All right. Let's go.
Begin with breaking news. President Donald Trump has commuted the federal sentence of Larry Hoover, founder of the Chicago street gang, the Gangster Disciples. Hoover has been serving multiple life sentences and in a maximum security prison in Colorado for the murder of a 19-year-old neighborhood drug dealer. He is also serving a 200-year sentence in Illinois, but it's not clear if he'll be moved back to Illinois to reserve what remains of that sentence. Hoover's son, Larry Hoover Jr., posted this photo on Instagram, a White House official holding the commutation with the president's signature.
What? Hold on a second, bro. Shout out Lady T in the chat. Day one in the chat, Lady T. Salute you. All my beautiful women in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and throw a rose in the chat for yourself, man, like Lady T always do it, you know what I'm saying? Throw a rose in the chat for yourself. And all my partners, man, go ahead and throw the salute emoji in the chat for yourselves. You know what I'm talking about? Last night was bumping. Tonight we're going to be on top of it. But now, correct me if I'm wrong. The lady just said that Larry Hoover's son, was she referring to this person? I don't know, because I heard her say his son. So I was looking for a guy. He looks like a transgender. So she should have said his. I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
Much more on this breaking news story coming up at 5 and 6 o'clock.
It says, according to.
All right. So it looks like, you know what I mean? You know, I don't think he's coming home just that quick. I don't think Larry Hoover coming home just that quick. But we gonna stay up to date on it because he still got a whole bunch of charges in Chicago, Illinois. you know what I'm saying, some multiple life sentences from what I understand, it ain't gonna be that easy but I'm just saying Trump could have just pardoned the whole thing. You know what I mean? I don't know how that works. Well, I'm assuming if he had a big boss, you know what I mean, he could have did it. All right. We're gonna get into Karmelo Anthony, man. This case is taking over national headlines, international headlines. It's divided the people. You know what I'm saying? It's a race war. It's self-defense. Is it not? Is it justice? Is it injustice? You know what I'm saying? Oh, he got out on bail, but they got all this GoFund money in them by the house. That's what I've been told. I don't know. But I don't do gossip, and y'all know that. So we got to get the facts and only the facts. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Several different reports. 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony is being charged with first-degree murder as an adult in Texas under state law and the murder of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Anthony, who claims self-defense, now faces life in prison if convicted. As we previously shared on April 2nd, police arrested Anthony, charging him with first-degree murder for allegedly killing Metcalf. And then it goes on to say that he's facing mandatory life in prison. In recent news, it's been confirmed that Karmelo Anthony will be tried as an adult under Texas state law. The report is that he is to be considered an adult during Texas's criminal justice proceedings. He's being prosecuted under Texas's concurrent jurisdiction laws, often referred to as the prosecutor direct file laws. It goes on to explain that by these laws, prosecutors can charge minors as adults without judicial oversight. And it also adds that it disproportionately affects black and brown youth accused of serious crimes like homicide in 12 states.
So minors can be charged as adults under the jurisdiction. I don't agree with that. I don't agree that certain jurisdictions and have certain, like, come on, man. If we all one country, I mean, America got different states. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Just like Canada got different provinces. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to do their own shit. But we got to agree on some things. You know what I'm saying? But because listen, he's a child. He made a child. It was a fucked up decision, but it wasn't an adult brain making the decision. That's where I'm going to first start off with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree. If he's gonna try him for murder, first degree, that's what y'all want to do. By all means, do what y'all want to do. But as an adult, I'm just like, come on now. Kids make mistakes, albeit it's a big time mistake. But children is children now. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue.
And Washington, D.C.
Right? Premeditation is a moment. It can be a split second.
All right, we go out to break down the difference here. Because I had a conversation with a pop. You know what I'm saying? Saying in self-defense. But this brother going, my man partner here, Officer Tatum, he going to break down what it is for the self-defense and what it is for premeditation. Because the way he broke it down had me thinking, you know what I'm saying? That he are like I'm gonna let him talk, then we gonna have a conversation. All right? Hold on. There we go.
Of pre-planning something that will change you from being murdering somebody spontaneously or through premeditation. Let me give you an example of why Austin Metcalf and the Karmelo Anthony situation is a premeditated murder. When you look at the fact that they were in a confrontation, Carmelo knows he has a knife in the bag, nobody else does. So there's a level of concealment of the knife in the bag that others aren't aware of, and Carmelo is aware of that, and he knows the circumstances. So then when he tells them, touch me and see what happens. Now, if Carmelo was arguing and they get into a scuffle, the stuff get crazy, and he stab and he run, that would be a second-degree murder. But when he says immediately out of his mouth, touch me and see what happens, touch me and see what happens. Therefore, they've established that he premeditated. That means that when they touched him, he pre-planned that if they hit me, I'm going to reach in the bag and I'm going to stab the kid in the chest. Knowingly, if you start.
What do y'all think about that? I did a video on it before, and I had people in the comment section was split down the middle. But he had a very, 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 very good point. When he knew he had the knife in the bag, nobody knew he had the knife in the bag. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew. I'm assuming if Metcalf would have known that he had a knife in the bag, I don't think he would have tried him. Just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But Metcalf was, he's a jock. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Old school, we gonna scrap this shit. We gonna scrap this fucking out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's some girls around and shit. I don't fucking know. The kids. So he knew he had the gun. The knife. So for him to say, touch me, it's on, that's the moment of premeditation, because he already put in his mind, at that moment he put in his mind, I'm going to stab this guy. I'm going to stab him. I'm going to let him have it. I'm just going off of, if that's what we're going off, if that's premeditation in that split moment, because doesn't mean he planned it throughout the day, in that split moment, then hey, it's not premeditation. It is premeditation in that split moment, because he already knew what he was going to do. You know what I'm saying? But I still don't agree to try a youngster as an adult. You know what I'm saying? 17 years old. You know what the fuck I was doing at 17, goddammit? You know what I mean? Like, the kind of shit we was getting into? Like, come on, man. We reckless. Hey, we reckless. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? I seen somebody one time, like, why did he bring the knife to the track and field event? Hey, man, we don't know where he lives. We don't know what his life is like. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he felt like he needs to carry a knife for protection. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, I used to do the same shit. I used to have a butterfly knife. I keep on me. Shit was dope. You know what I'm saying? But if you ever try me, woof, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't the means to put it out to use it. But if it came out, shit, nigga, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But if you try me today, woof. We got a comment. Charlie T. You always on the ball, man. Kids gonna be kids, man. Kids gonna be kids, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see. I think that it's bigger than big because one kid's black and unfortunately the other kid's white. So now it just looks racially divided. But let's continue.
All right, reasonable to know if you stab somebody in the chest with a knife that you are causing serious bodily injury or death to that person.
Right, in this video, we're going to go over the Austin Metcalf Karmelo Anthony case. Now, we're going to look at the facts, the law, and the...
Okay. We got my man, Nate, the lawyer. We're breaking... See, I don't do gossip. I don't do he said, she said. All I want is the facts. So we're breaking down the facts as it pertains to the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? I gotta put a whack 100. I gotta put an Adam 22. We gotta have the paperwork. You know what I mean? So we got the paperwork. Shout out to Nate the lawyer, you know what I'm talking about?
Possible outcomes. So first, let's start with the facts of the case. Now first, let me introduce you to Karmelo Anthony. He's a 17-year-old and he lives in North Texas. He's an honor student, captain of the football and track teams at his high school there in Texas. Now this is Austin Metcalf. He was an honor student with a 4.0 GPA and a member of the National Honor Society. He's also a linebacker on a football team, voted most valuable player. Now for our facts, we're going to go right to the documents, the official arrest report for Karmelo Anthony. Now, there may be other people saying things outside of this document, but I'm going to pretend they do not exist right now because this document are the facts that police and prosecutors are going to use for this prosecution.
2 honor roll students, 2 students that are doing very good in school. So I have to wonder why he had a knife. What I could only think of back in my time why I had a knife. There was too much shit going on. So it didn't matter if we was going to a track meet. It didn't matter if we was going to a football game. It didn't matter where we was going. Shit might pop the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? And by the time the teachers get here, the shit already went down. So yeah, he was just protecting them. He was being ready. He was being ready. Now, we got a comment. Trying a child as an adult is insane. It's definitely a racial issue. If the tables were reversed, Metcalf wouldn't be tried as an adult, but may he rest in peace. Now, that's a good thought to throw in there. Because if the roles were reversed, I can't speculate because I'm down the middle at 6 o'clock. How would it play out? How would it play out? Would he be tried as an adult? You know what I'm saying? Would the same rules apply? We don't know because we're not in a situation, but that's a very, very good observation. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. But we're going to get down to the nitty gritty of the paperwork now. Now that we kind of know, you know what I'm saying? We broke down the two players. All right? Two very good young children. So this shouldn't have happened.
Now, I'll set the scene. This is a track meet at a high school, and we have a pop-up rain shower. Karmelo Anthony is looking for refuge from the rain and runs under the tent for the opposing team. And our facts start from there. Now, in the police report, the first witness was interviewed by Officer Wetzel. As the police report says, this witness was sitting under the Memorial High School pop-up tent with his team and was near the victim, Austin, and the suspect, who was later identified as Karmelo Anthony. So this is an eyewitness to the event. So here this eyewitness says Anthony was from Centennial High School and was sitting under the Memorial High School tent. Austin had told Anthony that he needed to move out from under their team's tent, and Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside and proceeded to tell Austin, "Touch me and see what happens." No one really thought Anthony really had any weapons in his bag, and Austin proceeded to touch Anthony, and then Anthony told Austin to punch him and see what happens. A short time later.
Okay, remember what Officer Tatum has said. This is the moment of premeditation. Because you hear what they said. They had no idea he had a knife in them. So it was like he was taunting him more so than self-defense. In that moment, it was a taunt. That's what it looks like. Because they had no idea. I feel like if Metcalf would have known, he's not trying him today. And he know he got a knife on him. No, he's not doing it. He's going to think he's crazy. But let's continue with the first eyewitness account. See, we're not going to do no Bondulu and hearsay. You know what I'm saying?
Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move. And Anthony pulled out what blank recalled as a black knife and stabbed Austin once in the chest and then ran away. Okay, so in a nutshell, this witness has just said Anthony was under the wrong tent. Austin, the victim, told him to leave. Anthony then grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside. Says, quote, "Touch me, see what happens." Austin then does it. He touches him, but nothing happens at this time. It says Anthony then gave another warning to Austin to punch him and see what happens. Austin then grabbed Anthony, and that's when Anthony plunged the knife into Austin. Now, here is a second witness to the event that was interviewed by Officer.
Before witness 2 speaks, if you're see, I don't know. Definitely raised in 2 different homes. You know what I'm saying? But still with productive children though. You know what I'm saying? Definitely raised in 2 different environments, but still productive in their environments. When he told hold on, I keep blurring out. Okay. So when Carmelo told Metcalf, if he pushed me, he's on. He already had his hands in here, like in his bag. Then he said, "Punch me," and it's on. I don't think Metcalf should have tried him. See, if you're standing there and you see somebody reaching in for something like that, though, even if they're faking it, you don't play that shit, bro. He should have took heed to the warning. That's what I'm gonna say right there. He should have took heed to the warning. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna continue so now we can hear what the second eyewitness got to say. You know what I'm saying?
Fisher. He says when another male who he didn't know, I'm assuming he's talking about Carmelo here, walked over and sat under the tent.
I gotta make sure my monitors match up, y'all. Hold on a second, y'all. All right, let's go.
Then said Austin, the victim, told this male that since he did not go to Memorial, he had to leave the tent. Austin and the male went back and forth, and then Austin stood up and pushed the male to get him out of the tent. Now, the witness says during this time of arguing, the male was reaching around in his bag he had. It was at this time the male took out a knife and stabbed Austin, then left the scene. Now, in both of these witness statements, they are claiming that Austin was the initial aggressor and Austin assaulted Anthony before the stabbing, where one witness said he was warned twice and the second witness says he heard the first warning. So where does this leave us?
Now, family, we're straight up and down like 6 o'clock. This is where the flip side to it is, where we're going to say it's self-defense. You pushed me, I told you don't do that shit. Do it, it's on. That I told you, punch me. So you push me, I'm like, hey. All right, man, I'm gonna let you push me. But if you punch me, dog, that's a form of self-defense because, yo, bro, Texas is a stand your ground state. Nate gonna get into that. I ain't out there in Texas right now. So Nate gonna get into that. But but my thing is this though. There's a push and a punch. Is it equivalent to a stabbing? Like that could have just been an old school, you know what I'm saying? We just fighting it out with the fist, and then the teachers come and shit. I don't think it justified a stabbing. That's just my opinion. But we're gonna continue.
Well, again, based on the witness statements, Anthony was being assaulted by Austin, who essentially was trying to remove him from the tent. And now, since Anthony was the one being assaulted, he legally can employ self-defense to repel that attack. As an example, if Anthony slaps Austin, or if Anthony punches Austin in the face, that would be appropriate based on the level of force that's being used against Anthony. But Anthony then pulls out a knife and stabs Austin. So now that moves us to a discussion about self-defense and whether Anthony is going to be successful in his claims of self-defense. And as you saw again from the witness statements in the police report, Austin was warned by Anthony once, maybe twice, to not assault him. And we also know that the level of
the police report does show Anthony was warned once or twice, not, you know what I'm saying? Not to touch him. He was warned, like, yo, back up. You need to back up. Don't do it. But he kept on. We got comment in the comment section, man. Shout out to Fireball Bros, man. My partner in the chat, man. You know what I'm talking about? Big time baller, man. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, keep doing your thing, man. Keep grinding, man. The sky is the ultimate limit, man. You know what I'm talking about? The sky is the ultimate limit, man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you put your mind to and your heart to, man, that's where you gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Fireball Bros, man. I appreciate you, big dog. Metcalf shouldn't have tried him, though. On everything I know, Metcalf should not have even thought about trying, but he tried him. He said, no, I'm going to do it. That could be a form of self-defense. But as we get deeper, we're going to find out the nitty-gritty. Because now we done already broke out. We done broke both sides. We know why it could be premeditated. We know why it could be self-defense. But it gets more stickier than that. And we're going to break it down. Because y'all know how we do it, family. We straight up and down like 6 o'clock.
Force being used by Austin was minimal. We're talking about pushing, shoving, but in none of the witness statements does it suggest that Austin, the victim, employed deadly physical force against Anthony before the stabbing. Now, in this particular case, the perpetrator, Anthony, is going to argue self-defense. Now, the first thing I have to point out is self-defense is what's known as a justification. It's saying, I did it. So Anthony is saying, I did it. I killed him, but I was justified in doing it. Now, based on the preliminary witness statements, it seems appropriate to believe that Anthony could have employed reasonable self-defense against the assault from Austin, the pushing, the shoving, to get out of here, that type of thing. Now, since we're talking about self-defense in Texas, here are the 5 core principles of self-defense in any state and the Texas Penal Code, which references these principles. Now let's go over the 5 principles. Innocence, you can't be the aggressor or provoke the attack. Imminence, the threat must be immediate. It can't be something way in the future. Proportionality, the force must match the threat. Now, when it comes to the principle of avoidance, Texas is a stand your ground state, and there's no duty to retreat if you're lawfully present in a place. And you also have to make sure you're not provoking.
You hear what? Hold on a second. Y'all heard what's being said, though, right? Texas is a stand your ground state. You know what I'm saying? A stand your ground state, which means if I feel threatened, I got the right to not back down. I got the right to protect myself. Okay, babe, my dog. Hey, man, nothing but absolute love, brother. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Fireball Bro is one of my partners, man. I used to coach this young man. You know what I'm talking about, family? You know what I'm saying? An elite sharpshooter in basketball. You know what I'm saying? Keep up the work, my guy. You know what I'm saying? You got a great future ahead of you, man. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but absolute love, my guy. And we got another comment in the comment section. It says here, they want to see who had the facts. It was an ego trip. You know what I mean? Stabbing was unnecessary. Facts. Anthony technically edged him on, boosted his chest. All right. Anthony, again, he instigated it, but Metcalf started it. All right. Now, what I know, what my partner named Lil John, I know don't start no shit, won't be no shit. That's what I was taught. I was taught coming up. If you don't start nothing, ain't gonna be nothing. This is what I was told. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But in all fairness though, Anthony kind of egged him on. Anthony knew he had the upper hand. It's like, yo, you got a knife, I got a strap. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what I got. Hey man, we poker right now. There's a poker face going on. But both of these kids had egos. The bottom line, both of these kids had egos. You know what I'm saying?
The conflict that goes back to innocence. And then last but not least, reasonableness. Your belief for needing to use force must be reasonable under the circumstances. As you see here, Texas law only allows you to use deadly force against deadly force threats. Now, based on the witness statement,
deadly force against deadly force threats. And now, family, let's think about it for a second. At no time was Carmelo Anthony under deadly force. No time at all. Because now the question is, now that they charge him as an adult, if he found guilty, it's mandatory life in prison. Like mandatory, like hey, said. You know what I'm saying? I know some partners is doing mandatory life, nigga. 25 to life, you know what I mean? They ain't come home. No parole, no possibility of parole type shit. That shit ain't cool for a youngster. But it's a very valid point. That's what I'm saying.
it doesn't look like any of these threats were deadly force threats. And Texas law is clear. You can only respond to deadly physical force with deadly physical force. The next issue that the Carmelo family is going to have an issue with is the reasonableness factor of it. Was it reasonable for Karmelo Anthony under that tent to believe that there was a deadly physical force threat present that he had to respond to? Remember, you're at a track meet. There are teachers, coaches, other students. So in that context, do you believe Karmelo Anthony was justified in believing that he was being reasonable in employing deadly physical force?
Now, there's another case from New York that's very similar, but the context is different and the outcome is going to be different.
This is the Jordan Williams case.
Okay, before we get to the case from New York, Fireball Bros, man, I love you too, bro. It's always love, man. You know what I mean? When I see you again, man, it's always love, bro. Always, man. You know what I'm saying? Right now, Carmelo Anthony's family is going to have a hard time proving the self-defense based off what I am gathering right now. You know what I'm saying? Because if I put myself in a situation, my child, okay, he pushed you first. Okay, he instigated. But him pushing you, he had no weapon on him. He was no physical, the threat wasn't, it wasn't a threat that could kill you. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that kind of threat. But yeah, you decided you was gonna put out a knife and do what you had to do. To me, it doesn't act. You know what I'm saying? What was done to his response is not equal. That's what I'm going with. Now we got another case. I want you to watch this carefully, because how it ends up, you might not think, because he's black. So you're gonna assume. I already know how the game goes. We're gonna assume. You know what I'm saying? But watch how this goes down.
Now, Jordan Williams claimed to be employing self-defense against a homeless man who was unarmed, shirtless, and had slapped him and his girlfriend. And he pulled out a knife and stabbed and killed the homeless guy. Now, the facts are the homeless guy was unarmed. He wasn't employing deadly physical force, just basic physical force, pushing, shoving, that type of thing, as you will see in a second on the video. And Jordan was the one who employed deadly physical force that wasn't proportional to the force that was being employed against him and his girlfriend. Here is the video.
Okay, wait, before the video, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch this whole video because I don't like to ruin it for myself and ruin it for y'all with reaction time. But if just going off of just the information that's given, I would say, yo, this brother's going to jail. I'm gonna say, yo, he stabbed a homeless man who was unarmed. I'm gonna say he's going to jail. And he's a Negro. Oh my God, you're black, he's going to jail. That's what I'm gonna tell myself. But I don't think it ends up like that. Not just because of the way Nate put it. We got to watch. Now let's watch and pay attention, y'all.
You understand what I'm saying? Stop it. No, you see this? Why don't we put that man?
So now, as you see from this camera footage, the two men are in the corner struggling, and one of those men pulls out a knife and then stabs the other guy.
Get your hands off of him! Get your hands off of her!
This is an accessible station. The elevator is at the center of the platform.
Sorry. Stop. I just stabbed that shit, Lincoln. You stabbed him? Holy shit. You're gonna go to jail. Hey. Hey.
Now, just so we're all on the same page, that homeless guy was unarmed and he was applying force, not deadly physical force, to this particular couple. Now, in full disclosure, in this case, I believe that Jordan acted in self-defense. And so did most of the YouTube commentary world, even my friend Actual Justice Warrior. He also believed that Jordan acted in self-defense and did a whole video on it. Now, the results of the Jordan Williams case is that Jordan Williams was found to have employed self-defense and was not charged. His charges were dropped. Now, the first question you're going to ask me is, Nate, you're being inconsistent. How can you believe Jordan Williams employed self-defense when he essentially did the same thing as this other kid, Karmelo Anthony? Now, the reason why I believe these cases are different is because if you've ridden a New York City subway and you're trapped on a train car and someone is trying to assault you and your girlfriend you're trying to protect, that's a totally different situation than you being in an arena where it's raining and you're around coaches, teachers, other students, not trapped on.
Well, I'm going to be real.
A train and employing self-defense.
The situations are different. Nate has a point. If you're trapped on the train with nowhere to go and you're being harassed, yo, bro, you gotta do what you gotta do. And he put his hands on his woman. So you gotta do what you gotta do. In Carmelo's situation, in all fairness, it's a track meet. They're outside. He could have ran. He could have left. You know what I'm saying? He knew he had the weapon that nobody else knew. So therefore, he could have took the bigger stance because he knows he's gonna win the battle. Like, you push me, bro, I'm gonna win this battle. There's no way around it, right? But one brother got off on self-defense. So where did that lead us? Maybe Carmelo gets off on self-defense, but the situations are different. So maybe he doesn't. Texas is the stand your ground state. You know what I'm saying? But the attack was not proportionate for him to feel like his life was threatened. So that's what the Carmelo Anthony is going to have to present in court. Is the stabbing proportionate to what had transpired? I don't pick sides. You know, y'all know how I get down. Straight up and down like 6 o'clock, not 6:01, not 5:09. I ain't picking sides. You know what I'm talking about? But I appreciate y'all on a Wednesday night. Tomorrow we got a hip-hop story. I ain't gonna tell y'all what story it is, but y'all gotta tune in. We going to the East Coast tomorrow. Shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight, you know what I'm talking about. I appreciate y'all always, you know what I'm saying? We moving. The channel's moving, the channel's growing, one day at a time. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button for me one time, because you know we bring the flavor each and every night at 8 p.m. on the button. You know how we get down. And if you haven't done it already, smash up the like for me, dog. Smash up them likes. You heard? Just a little bit for the play. Now, I got to get up out of here. I'm going to let y'all enjoy y'all evening. I appreciate y'all spending time with me. Y'all could be anywhere else in the world, but y'all was kicking it with me. And I appreciate y'all. And as always, let me know what country, what state, what province, what street corner, what penthouse in the sky you checking in from, because we worldwide, baby, and it's nothing but love.